going, everybody? Living in Diecast Caterpillar action today from Hot Wheels. Yes, Hot Wheels used to do a lot of construction equipment back in the day. 1997 is the year Mattel had a pretty significant deal with Caterpillar for a licensing agreement. They used a lot of stuff for both Matchbox and Hot Wheels at the time. But this line was for Hot Wheels. It is called Action Machines. 5 models in the set. This will be the first one we take a look at. It does come with moldable, reusable, clean dirt compound. Now, I will tell you, this dirt is 30 years old, so I'm not sure if I want to open that. But obviously, we're going to take a look at the machines themselves. So this is the back of the card art. It has some really cool kind of a diagram built up right here for the model that's on display. This one happens to be for the shovel. It just says shovel. It doesn't actually call it the actual Caterpillar name for some reason. It just calls it a shovel, which is fine. But it looks pretty good. This model looks good as kind of a drawing. It looks a lot better than the actual model itself. Again, 1997 is the year. There's the deets on there. There are the other 4 models in the mix. We'll take a look at all 5, obviously. Comes on this big card. Blister does not sit on there very well. So this is the dirt compound. So there's a number on there. This is 3287-2. But it doesn't look like it's moldy or anything. It's pretty solid though. Pretty solid. So I don't really want to crack that open, but it does come with dirt. It's supposed to be dirt that can be used to mold and take apart. It's basically like wet sand, I would think, with some type of chemical in there to keep it quote unquote moist, which is fine. It's kind of interesting. We're just going to set that off to the side. So there is our shovel. So this was a 1997 first edition for Hot Wheels, by the way. So they just reused the exact same shovel. It has a little actuator piece on the top here to utilize the shovel part to make it playable or whatever. It does go up and down besides that, and of course it does have full 360 rotation like you'd expect for a excavator type material or vehicle. Details on the top. It's a pretty well detailed casting. It's not super crazy, but I do like the fact that the tracks kind of have a little bit of that droop in them. So it looks a little bit more realistic, which is kind of a cool look. Normally, tracks are just solid. You just get solid tracks. Prints go all the way around to the back, which look good. They line up very, very well. Just as cat on all 3 sides. Looks good. Nothing in particular with the base. There's the base deets on this one. 1996 Mattel. Debuted as a 1997 first edition. And it was pretty popular and expensive at the time. It was a pretty popular first edition way back then. Nowadays, it's a dollar car at best, but there we go. Looks pretty good. Looks all right sitting there. All right, next one up is the bulldozer. So I did get these all differently. This one looks like it's been popped off the blister at one point in time. You can kind of see that a little bit. No big deal. It's going to come off the blister permanently now. So pop this off of the blister. There we go. Get the bulldozer out of there. Now this is a Hot Wheels original casting as well. So this is a casting Hot Wheels already had in the mix. So this one looks very, very, very green. Very, very, very green. This is why I don't want to open this up. So it's probably pretty moldy in there. Just because it's, there's moisture in there and it's been packed in there for who knows how long. The dirt's definitely not supposed to be green, so we're definitely not going to crack that open, but just want to showcase that. I mean, look how different that looks. The first one we opened, and then this one. It's creepy. Super creepy. All right, so there is the bulldozer. This is the full Monty bulldozer that they made with a lot of metal bits in it. It does have a lot of the functionality to it. You can see the 2 metal pistons on the blade that goes up and down. The balancer or the leveler systems here on the side to make sure that the blade is optimal where it's supposed to be. It does have rubber tracks on here. Try to move these a little bit. Sometimes they get a little bit stiff. This one seemed to be moving just fine. It does rotate the drive wheel right there, which looks pretty good. Details on the side, just has Caterpillar on the side of the blade. It has Caterpillar on the back. There's no ripper or nothing in the back, unfortunately, but that'd be kind of cool if there was a ripper on it. The blade is all metal. Most of the casting is metal, and then the base is plastic, and then this little inside lower part of the base is also plastic, but the parts that are metal are the important parts, so it looks pretty good. This doesn't go all the way to the ground, but it looks pretty good just on the front side. The blade is pretty level. It's not perfectly level, but it's pretty close. I think mostly just for those little actuators in there. Those little pieces right there are probably pretty expensive to manufacture. You see it does have just a shared bar in there between the two, so they're not individual pistons per each one, but that one looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. That one's pretty nice. That particular casting is, none of these castings are exclusive to the set, by the way. All right, this is the compactor. This one is very, very interesting because it has a extra drum that comes with it. This one's been re-stapled to the card. You can see some staples in there. So, like I said, I got these all at a different time. These are, they're not really hard to find. You can find them on eBay. This one's brown, which is good. At least it looks like dirt. So this is the extra drum. It says cat on there. It has the cat logo. So that way when you roll down, you would read it directly. So it's backwards on there. And of course, Hot Wheels logo on the other side of it. So Caterpillar and Hot Wheels. There is the Caterpillar drum roller right there. Looks pretty good. Same one that they've had forever. Just has some additional prints on there. It says Caterpillar. Caterpillar wraps around the front side of it. Just one little operator area up there. Going through here. Now it doesn't really matter which particular roller you want to remove. You would just take something like a screwdriver or whatever, and you just push this little tab in on the drum roller, and then you would just pop the drum out, take your other drum, put it in the one side, get that in that little hole. There we go. And then just pop this in, and then there you go. You have the additional drum in case you want to put, Caterpillar's name on the ground. It's fine. It's fine. They had to give it a little bit of a kid's flair, I guess, a little bit of a functionality for it. These were clearly not meant for like hyper realistic collectors that collect construction equipment, but more for the kids, I guess, which is fine. So put that in there. There we go. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Put that extra drum roller right there. We do have a front end loader. This is also a Hot Wheels original design as well. Some of these are supposed to have like a little opening in here so you can kind of mess with it, but like you can't really move the bucket up. But it's like, hey, try me, but it just doesn't work that way. So we'll get the front end loader out of there. Get our other thing of questionable dirt out of there as well. So definitely not going to open those things. And then there is your Caterpillar front end loader. This thing is completely metal, except for the boom and the bucket. The cab, the center section, and the base is all metal, which is really, really, really nice. Very, very cool casting from back in the day. Caterpillar on the side, Caterpillar on the other side. It's pretty simple, basic prints, nothing particularly fancy. It does, dump and do bulldozer type things, or front end loader type things, which it looks pretty good. There is the deets right there. China base on this particular one. So it's fine. It's fine. Now, some of these castings were also used for Matchbox sets during the same period as well. All right, the last one in there, of course, is a dump truck, because, of course, you got to have a dump truck. Obviously, if you get dirt, you got to have something to haul it around in. Off-highway dump truck right here. I wish I had the names on there, but realistically, these were not like hyper-realistically, built off of a real Caterpillar model. It was more of an inspiration. More dirt. This is it's a pretty substantial amount of dirt too. Probably weighs, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 ounces. There is the dump truck. This is also solid metal, which is really, really nice. The bucket's metal, the body's metal, the base is metal, everything is metal. Very simple base or print on there, just a little bit of Caterpillar on this side. You do get Caterpillar across the top of the bucket, which is really, really nice. And then just a little bit of Caterpillar on this side. This is the Action dump truck. I call it the Action dump truck. There's a little tab that sits out of the front here, and you push that tab in, and it's supposed to, sometimes it works. Let's see if we can get it to work. There it goes. Push really hard. It'll actually utilize the dump truck. Sorry, that was a little off the screen. You push that up, and it will push the bucket up itself. Now, the bucket being metal, it makes it a little bit more, it takes a little bit more effort to get that up. But there's just a little piece of plastic in there attached to the bucket. And you see this little piece move as the bucket goes. It'll go in, come back out. It works relatively well. It works relatively well. It's a gimmick, but it's fine. I like it. I think it's fine. Not the first time they've done that either. That wasn't exclusive to the series either. That little actuator button was used in other sets as well. So anyways, there you go. That is the Action Machines Caterpillar set from 1997 Hot Wheels. Yes, Hot Wheels used to do construction stuff, and they did a pretty good job of it too. I think the late 90s Caterpillar stuff from Mattel in general was pretty good. So glad to add this set to the collection. Took a little bit to put the 5 cars together, but again, not very hard to find. You can find all of them on eBay for anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks a piece. No big deal. But I will tell you, do not do anything with the terrible, terrible dirt, especially when it's green. Throw that away. Throw it away. So we'll catch you next time on LMD. Peace!